Hello everyone, it's Yvonne here from Serena Starshine, and today it's our monthly mini read session. So here we are. Yes, so we're here for 30 minutes. Like I say, I'll do as many as I can. I'll read for as many people as possible in the 30 minutes. If I can't get to you, I am so sorry. I do apologise. There is no plan on who I'm going to read for. It's just who I'm drawn to. And if it's not you, sorry, I'm just pulling my cardi out from under my bottom. So if it's not you tonight, I do apologise. Okay, but we'll be back again next month, and perhaps it will be you then. And if you really want to guarantee cards, then come and join the membership group. Honestly, if you join the membership group, we have guaranteed cards for you. Ooh, cards falling on the floor every time we do any mini reads. So, you know, if you definitely want cards, come and join the membership group. I'll pop a link into the comments below as well for that. So if you fancy joining up later, please do. Okay, I need to just check on the old computer to see if the notification has gone out. Has notification gone out? Aha! Okay, all right, so Chris says she'd love a reading, but she can't hear me. Okay, can anybody else hear me? Is it a problem on this end? If it is, let's sort it out. I might need to go off and come back on. So please do. I'm not getting any messages on here. I'm not getting any things on here, only on the laptop. Please give me a shout. Can you hear me or not? I like that. Give me a shout. Okay, Vimla can hear me. All right, Yasna can hear me as well. Okay, and Debbie can hear me. Oh, now, Debbie, really, really good luck. Good luck with this op today. You know, fingers crossed, holding you in my prayers, as I have been doing for a little while, but, you know, a lot today. Lots and lots of love going out to you today. Good. Okay, so it seems that it's just Chris that can't hear me. Okay. And now I can't see all my comments. What's going on? This is all a bit strange. All right, let me see if I go down here, if that shows me. Sorry, technical issues. I will be there in a moment. It's not showing me anything. This is a bit strange. La 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 la. Okay, well, I tell you what, we're just going to have to do it this way then. See if it'll do that. And whilst that's just refreshing, now I might be able to see all my comments here. No, okay, so it won't show me all the comments. Okay, let me just pick up the cards. That way. They all went flying. So, as this seems a bit unusual and I can't get any, maybe if I put that on. No, that's not it. What's that? Okay. All right. Now I have to tell you that this is the first time we've done this since Facebook have changed all their settings and stuff. As you may have seen, a couple of days ago, might have been at the weekend, I'm not sure, I posted about, you may well have had another invitation from me to follow or like the page. It's because if you liked it before but you hadn't followed it, because they didn't introduce following when I started, your liking of the page has not transferred over. So if you have received a message from me asking you to, and another invitation to invite you to follow the page, please do. And it's not just my page, it's all pages. Whatever page you follow, please go back and just double check that you are following them properly, because although we think we are, because of the changes, we may not be anymore. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Okay. All righty. So let us, who should we start with? All right, let's start with Debbie, because I don't know what time she's going to disappear off. But let's start with you, Debbie. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. What does Debbie need to know right now? What does Debbie need to know? What message have we got for Debbie? What does she need to know? What does she need to know right now? This is Debbie. Okay. Well, the one that came up for you, Debbie, you'll like this. Leaving in 5 minutes. Okay, well, if I do you now, you've got take action, which is exactly what you're doing. You are taking all the actions that you can possibly take. So you're definitely on the right track. Just go ahead. Relax as best you can. I understand that you may not be able to fully relax. Call on Archangel Raphael to be with you. You know these things. Surround yourself in his green, emerald green healing energy, and just really embrace that as you go today. But yeah, take action. So that fits quite nicely, doesn't it? Good. All right then. Best of luck. Much love to you. Okay, so who else shall we have? How about Vimla? Let's pull a card for Vimla. Okay. What does Vimla need to know today? What message have we got for Vimla? What does she need to know about Vimla? Message for Vimla. Oh, not that one then. Vimla. Ooh. They're all flying tonight. Okay, Vimla, the one that's come up for you is it's up to you. So, what do you want? What do you really want? At the base of everything, what do you want? Now, this can be a really straightforward, well, I want that. Or it feels like it may not be. It feels like you're kind of undecided a little bit. So it's up to you. You can choose either or any of the options available, but I'm thinking there's two. It feels like there's two. You can of course choose whichever, and either way will work out. But what I want you to consider is, if you step into each of the options available to you, how do any of them feel? Which one makes you feel the most excited, the most right, the most comfortable? And what you can do on a really basic level, it's really quite good fun. But what you could do, if you can't quite imagine it, it sounds really silly, and probably don't do it when anybody else is around. But what you can do is write the options on a piece of paper, each a different piece of paper, like one option per piece of paper. Put them on the floor and actually step onto the paper and feel the energy of that thing. And then just go, no, this isn't for me, or, oh, okay, this feels okay. And then step onto another one and then see where that goes. Is it a higher vibration, a lower vibration? But ultimately, the choice is yours. So you can kind of do whichever one you prefer. But I would do that. If it's a case of either or if it's a real choice, I would step on the paper, or I would imagine myself in each of the situations and see which feels the lightest, which feels the warmest and the most, well, embracing, really. Does that make sense? Hope so. Ah, okay. She says, just lost her dad. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry. And met two people and not sure which one is right for you. Well, it's up to you. So maybe it sounds terrible, isn't it? But if you wrote their name on a piece of paper, you know, that person on that paper, that person on that paper, and stood on the paper, which sounds a bit rotten, but I don't mean it in a bad way. Honestly, I don't. But just feel the vibration. Which one do you like? Or maybe now is not quite the right time to make that decision. You know, it's not a choice of either or. The third choice is neither. But again, that's entirely up to you. That's entirely up to you. Or just have them both. No, don't do that. That's not. But you can still be friends with them. You know, you don't have to hook up with them and suddenly get married with them. You know, you can meet each of them. Anyway, that's a different story. So, does that make sense, Vimla? Good. Yes, good. Okie dokie. How about Audrey? Let's get a card for Audrey. Let's get a card for Audrey. Okay, what does Audrey need to know today? What does Audrey need to know today? What does Audrey need to know today? Do you have a card for Audrey, please? Okay, thank you. Okay, so yours fell on the floor. Do you know what? I need to get a table in here. I need to get a table that I can work with. And yours, Audrey, is forgiveness. Forgiveness. Now, we've just had a big full moon, and a full moon is often about forgiveness as well. And now is a good time to let go. As the moon is waning now, it's letting go of its light. And maybe now is the time for you, Audrey, just to forgive and let go of past hurts and situations, right? It feels like things have been building up, and it doesn't feel necessarily like a massive thing. It feels like bits and bits and bits and bits and bits and bits and bits. You know, it feels a little bit like that. Of course, it may not be, but that's how it's feeling that way to me. And if you can begin to let that go for your sake. So here, it really feels like the forgiveness is for you. I mean, forgiveness is always for you. And if it's something that you can't forgive, I've been going through a kind of a real thinking phase about forgiveness. But if it's something that you can't forgive, can you accept that it happened without it being an emotive thing? Does that make sense? So you just say, it happened, and you can put it in the it happened box, rather than every time you think of it, you just get more angry with it. So I think this card feels like it's a forgiveness for you and for your benefit. I mean, you know, forgiveness is always for your benefit, but forgive yourself for being angered in this situation if you can. And if not, just see if you can accept it. You know, one step closer to the full forgiveness is always better than just getting yourself all wound up. That's not a good plan. That's not a good plan. So if you can find a way to forgive, go for it, because it will just lighten your load immensely. Now, it may be that you need to journal about this. It may be that you need to write a letter to whoever has brought these situations upon you, and then just burn it. safely, in a safe environment. La, da, 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 da. Please take responsibility for yourself. But, you know, burn the letter. You don't have to send it to them. I'm not suggesting that. But maybe that's one way just to release the tension and just say, you know what? It's gone. The other thing you can do is write it on toilet paper and flush it down the loo. So does that make sense? Good. Audrey said, yes, it does. Yes. Good, good, good. All right. Good. I'm glad it makes sense, Audrey. Good. All right. Who else have we got? Let's have a look. Can I get any on here yet? Oh, no. Cancel. Don't know why it's doing that. No, it just wants me to comment. If I do it on my phone, it just wants me to comment. It doesn't let me do that. Okay. How about Tasneem? How about Tasneem? Let's get you a card then, shall we? All right. What does Tasneem need to know tonight? Does Tasneem need to know? Okay. Oh, Tasneem, your card is unlikely. Now, I'm not sure what it is you're thinking about, but however you see it panning out, it's unlikely. Now, that isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means that it's unlikely to happen the way that you foresee it. It doesn't mean don't do it, but if you choose that option that you're thinking about, if you can follow me, if you choose that option, then things will unravel differently to how you expect. It also could be about now is not really the time to make that. So if you kind of put all your eggs in one basket, they may well break. Yeah, so don't just go all in on something. Does that make any sense? Just, basically, it's unlikely. Whatever you're thinking of is unlikely to happen in the way that you anticipate. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a tragic ending. It doesn't mean it's going to be awful. It doesn't mean any of that stuff. It just means it's not going to necessarily play out as you anticipate, as you hope for, as perhaps you'd like to. So maybe think again. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Tasneem? Unlikely. Okay, thank you. Yeah, all right. Okay, so just maybe think again. It could be to do with the timing. It could be that kind of thing, but it's unlikely to happen as you foresee it, basically. All right. All right, how about Maura? Okay, so she's asked me a very specific question. Will my boyfriend come back, please? Well, oops. Don't know. Let's see. Let's see what it says. Okay. This is for Maura. Will my boyfriend come back? Maura's boyfriend come back. Ah, okay. So, that sounds ominous, doesn't it? It's not meant to. It's just like, oh, okay. So, here we have trust. Now, this doesn't answer your question straight out, does it? You know, and this is why I was like, oh, okay. So, trust. You've got to trust the universe. The universe is doing its best for you. Remember, everything is always working out for you. So, if your boyfriend is Mr. Right, shall we say, trust that he will come back. It's about trusting that the universe trust the universal process, basically. And if it's meant to be, he'll come back. And if it's not meant to be, somebody even better will come along. And it's trust the process. Now, of course, I don't know any sort of backstory, and I don't, I'm not trying to pry into the backstory, but it could be that the universe has taken him away from you for a very good reason. Only you will know that. And I'm not suggesting is horrid or any of that, or the relationship is bad. It's just that sometimes the universe takes people away because they are not actually on our path. We think that they are, we hope that they are, but sometimes they are just not. And no amount of wanting them to means that they are. So this trust element, trust that the right man for you will be in your life. Does that make sense? So it doesn't answer the question that you're asking. Sorry. But you've got to trust the process, because it will work out. Not necessarily with the boyfriend. Sorry. But just trust the process. Trust the process. Know that you are loved. Love is coming to you. Love is always coming to you. And love will be with you. And it will be better than ever. Okay. All right. Does that make sense then, Maura? Okay. All right. I hope so. Sorry. I'd love to say, oh, yeah, it's coming back. But I don't know. It just says, that's it. Sorry. But whatever it is, the right thing will work out. And so that's a good thing. Yeah? Does that make sense? It's a bit like taking a plaster off, isn't it? It's nothing like taking a plaster off. Okay, right. Who's next then? Oh, hi Miriama, how are you? Da-da-da-da. Let's see. Okay, see if I've got any more. It says I've got quite a few, but I can't see any. All right, okay. How about Sandra? Let's get Sandra a card. All right. Okay, so Sandra, the card that's come up for you is perfect timing. Ooh. So perfect timing is all about divine timing, of course. And that things, that time, as in like o'clock, quarter past, half past, all that business, that is a man-made construct. Perfect timing, divine timing, it doesn't follow those same patterns as much as we want them to. And don't we? Don't we really want them to? It's like, no! But this is about perfect timing. Not our timing, perfect timing. So, whatever is happening for you right now, it will all unravel itself perfectly exactly when it needs to. Just in the same way, when flowers bloom, okay, so it's it's a basic analogy, but when flowers bloom, they don't all do it at the same time. And it doesn't matter when we want them to. When it opens, it's stunning. It's just so beautiful. But we have no we have no control over that. And because we do the kind of like, oh, it's 0:00, I need to go and get the bus or the trains at such and such an exact time, we have no control over this. So know that perfect timing, divine timing is always working, and it's working in your favor. So don't rush. It will all unravel itself perfectly when the time is right. Okay, does that make sense, Sandra? Does that make sense? All righty. Yeah, so there we go. Perfect timing. Great card. Great card. All righty. How about, let's have a look. Let's have another scroll through, see if we can see who else we've got. How about Carly? Carly, are you around? Let's get you a message then, Carly. Okay, all right. So, what does Carly need to know? What does Carly need to know today? All right, so Carly, not sure if you're still here. I can't see who's watching right now, can I? No, I can't. All very peculiar. But Carly, your card is listen to your intuition. Ooh. I think I'm just going to make that sound all the time, right? So listen to your intuition. What is your gut telling you? What are the voices in your head telling you? The nice, supportive voices, not the ones who are just going, oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, don't do that. Oh, you're not very good at that. Don't listen to them. They're not anything to do with your intuition. That's kind of ego stuff. Don't listen to any of that. Don't listen to that, Carly. Listen to your intuition. So those voices that are saying, maybe don't go that way this morning, maybe take a different route to work. Oh. And then lo and behold, you will miss the traffic jam. Oh, and you know, though, that kind of thing. What is the nudging you to do? What do you keep thinking, oh, you know, I should read that book? Then read it. You know, if it's a case of I don't know, cleaning up your eating, for example, you know, if that's the nudge that you've been being given, then follow that nudge. Go with it. Go with it, because it will lead you to happier places. That no, she's not come back on yet. So Carly, if you can listen to your intuition, that'll do you a whole heap of good. Begin to trust it. Now, if you're not lots of sentences. If you're not familiar with trusting your intuition, then start with something that doesn't really matter. So it's inconsequential. So, you know, like it doesn't really matter which way you go to work. And if you go where the traffic jam is, then, you know, so be it. It's not the end of the world. Whereas, you know, if you suddenly up sticks and move house, that's kind of a big deal. Do you see what I mean? So start with something small, practice on the small things, and then work up to it if you want to. But definitely start listening to your intuition. All right, brilliant. Okie dokie. Oh, hello. Oh, it's so nice to see everybody here. Thank you so much for popping in this evening. I do appreciate it. Sorry, I'm just scrolling up and down. All righty. Okay. Okay, Helen, how about you? Helen, let's get a card for you tonight, shall we see? Shall we see what message we've got for you? And I think this is probably going to have to be the last one. I apologise, but... So what does Helen need to know tonight? What message have we got for Helen? Okay, all right. So Helen, this is for you. I'm not sure how many Helens we've got, actually, so this is Helen Louise, okay? So this is your card, communicate clearly. Ooh, I love that noise, sorry. So here we are, communicate clearly. Communicate? Yeah, that's right. Communicate clearly. Unlike me, just babbling along. Just know that, okay, so it's succinct messages, that's what I'm feeling. Don't use more words than you need to. Obviously, it depends who you're talking to, but, oh, sorry, I think I'm going to sneeze. I just got a little sneeze up my nose. Succinct, concise, as you need it to be. Okay, this actually feels like a kind of a professional issue, shall we say. It feels like there's a communication not block, that's not the wrong way, but it feels more like a professional sort of communication rather than talking to children, if that makes sense. So it could be, you know, for example, if you're asking for a pay rise, right, let's just go for that for an example. It feels like it's not necessarily a pay rise, but a work sort of situation. Then don't be me and ramble and say all the words. Don't, just clearly, concisely, to the point, and then leave the silence for them to fill in. You know about communication, I know that you do. So, but it's about that. Just be really clear about what it is you want, so that there is no middle ground. You want that, thank you very much. Go for it. It sounds great. Whatever it is, it feels like it does feel like a professional issue rather than a personal one. But then again, it could be a kind of professional kind of getting your point across with sort of a husband type. It doesn't feel like a talking to the children thing. It feels like a grown-up adult kind of professional conversation. That's what it feels like. Yeah. So communicate clearly, get your point across. You are being heard. You will be listened to. You will be listened to. So go and say what you need to say. Ooh, exciting. Oh, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, sorry, guys. We're now just after 8:30, so we've been on half an hour. So thank you all so much for joining me. I'm so thankful for you all being here tonight. Honestly, thank you so much. Like I said at the beginning, if you haven't had a card, or if you have had a card, but you want to guarantee that you get these cards when we do a card reading, then come and join the membership group. Honestly, you get the cards. I can't remember how many times we've done a card pull in this last month, but yeah, we get them, and you are guaranteed a card. So, you know, if you really want cards, then come over into the membership group and we'll definitely get them. But if that's not for you, that's absolutely fine too. And I shall just see you in here next month to see who gets a card then for our happy hour. Happy half hour. I'm sorry, I'm thinking, are the pubs open yet? I'm not really. Did you know see, this is why you don't be me, Helen, because I just babble. I'm going to communicate clearly, I can't even say it, and switch off. Much love to you all. Thank you. Many blessings. Much love. See you very soon. Bye.